Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I'm going to be talking about Sing Street. So Sing Street was a movie that came out in 2016. I just watched it on streaming on Netflix, I'm ashamed to say. And the reason why I'm ashamed to say that I watched Sing Street there was I was told about Sing Street well over a year ago. And somebody said, hey, you should watch Sing Street. I said, oh, hey, tell me about it. And they're like, it's a movie about an Irish band. And I was like, oh, well, I'm going to promptly skip that. I'm not watching that, right? Just did not, like, none of the words in that sounded interesting to me. I'm like, there's probably not going to be lasers or spaceships in that. Nobody's going to get shot or stabbed. It's not a good action movie. There's no swords. Nobody's going to cast a fireball. I'm not watching this movie, right? And so I skipped this thing well over a year ago, and I was very dismissive of it when I heard about it. And I go to see a lot of movies, and so generally, I'm just not that interested in Irish history, and I'm also not that interested in movies about bands, because just none of those things interest me, right? Boy, was I 100% wrong. Hey, everybody out there, every now and then, Scott Garibay is 100% wrong, and I was 100% wrong about the Sing Street movie, and I really learned a lot from the Sing Street movie. One, it is a wonderful film, just fantastic. It is a real treat for anybody who enjoys, and you don't need to enjoy movies about Ireland, and you do not need to enjoy movies about bands to like this movie. What this movie is really about, in my opinion, is two things. It is about the progression of an artist. That is the first thing, the progression of an artist, right? And then the second thing that this movie is about is friendship, right? Which is a great it's one of the reasons why I love the Harry Potter movies, the Harry Potter books, excuse me. I read the Harry Potter books and then I watched all the movies. I very much enjoy both. And one of the reasons why is that is one of the best depictions of friendship that's ever been put into a fiction novel, or a fantasy novel for that matter. So Sing Street is a fantastic movie about friendship, and really about the progression of an artist. And so from that perspective, it's really, really fantastic film. Really wonderful. And I really very much liked it. I also learned another thing from Sing Street, and that is my brother has much better taste in movies than I do. So my brother, he's also a cinephile, goes to the movies. I go to the movies probably, I would say at least once every 2 weeks, and when it's blockbuster season, most likely once a week, right? And so yeah, it's a pretty high frequency for Americans, and my brother is in the same boat, right? And he has turned me on to a few movies now where he was way ahead of them. So he heard about Sing Street beforehand, and he was the second person to tell me Sing Street is a great movie and you should watch it, right? And so the other thing that he told me about, and I'm going to throw this one out there, is a movie called Hit and Run. And it is done by the gentleman who is the husband of Kristen Bell. And Hit and Run is out there. It's an absolutely fantastic film. Real sleeper. Not a lot of people have seen it. Bradley Cooper's in it. Kristen Bell is in it. The guy who married Roseanne is in it. Tom Hardy, I think that's his name. No, somebody else. But he is in there, and it's an excellent film. So back to Sing Street. So Sing Street is a really exceptional film. It takes place in the 80s, and one of the things that you see like Duran Duran, The Cure, all that type of music is in there. And what you're seeing a young man who is experiencing all these different movie types of the 80s, and then rolling them up and putting them into his band's music, right? So Sing Street is a whole bunch of things. It's the story of the progression of an artist, and it's the story of it's a tour of 80s music done in a way that the music fits into the fictional setting, right? And it has some incredibly effective visual connections to, like, The Cure, Duran Duran, the punk scene, all those type of things, right? The other thing that's really interesting is there's a depiction of the relationship between an older brother and a younger brother. And so the older brother has better taste in music, and he's kind of, directing his younger brother in, here's what you should be listening to. So, that's my my take on Sing Street. 5 out of 5 stars. Highly recommended. If you haven't seen Sing Street, do yourself a favor, get out there and watch it. If you have watched Sing Street, you have better taste in movies than I do. And if you watched Sing Street a whole bunch of times, you're a genius. Because that's what I intend to do. This is on, it really is. It's absolutely in my top 10 movies for 2016. And as far as a movie about being the progression of an artist, it's one of the best films I've ever seen. Take care.